Hello and welcome to another season. This is season number 4 of the Kezia Lee Show. So I decided I would do a little solo potty, sharing a little bit about my past years, my past um, time since having babies, all of the fucking hard shit, the beautiful shit that I've been through. And yeah, really start to get excited for the podcast and the next iteration of the Kezia Lee Show and what it's being asked and what it's being birthed into. And yeah, it's funny, I was just about to get on here and I'm like, Logan and I, you're just going to hear the absolute real. Logan and I have been having some conflicts. I like to call them conflicts or tension. And today, actually the last couple of days, and as a mum now and having a set amount of time to be able to get my work in, I was like, oh, I really don't want to fucking do this podcast, and like, oh, blah blah blah, and I'm not in the mood, and excuse me. Oh God. Um, not in the mood and blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, this is exactly why you need to do it. Because I think, especially as mothers, we are so quick to be like, okay, well, nothing's working. I can't do it. I don't have time. I don't have the perfect circumstances or the perfect this to be able to get on and show up. And, sometimes mothers don't have that luxury. Whilst I'm all, oh my God. Oh my God. About alignment, I'm also all about, sometimes there's seasons and moments that you've really just got to fucking get shit done. You've got to be able to move into like, okay, cool. Like this is what we're doing. These are our timelines and we got to be able to make it happen. And I think there's a beautiful balance. And what motherhood has shown me like is that there can be a beautiful balance. My days with my kids are my relaxed days, are my in nature and spending time with the sun and playing, those days are for my creativity. And then my work days, I currently work 2.5 days, 9 till 5, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and 9 till 1 on a Friday. And, those are my work days. I do my calls, I do my content creating. I sometimes create content when I'm with my kids, but, that might just be like tiny little stories or, in the car. And, honestly, I just like so many women and so many mothers, I think, are just in the creating it, doing it on the fly, making it happen, getting it done. So yeah, it has been a beautiful iteration, and from the end of last year. Um, for those of you that don't know, Logan and I went through a really challenging time. We were faced with bankruptcy. We didn't go bankrupt. We were faced with having to sell our family home, which was not Logan's highest desire. It was his original home where he purchased it. And it was a Queenslander and he was renovating it. He'd been renovating it for like 8 years, mind you. Hope he doesn't listen to this. And yeah, I had taken some chosen time off of my mentoring business. When I got pregnant with my second child, Bruno, I got the call from Spirit that it was time for me to step back and it was time for me to take some time off work because the pressure, the expectation, being pregnant again, um, and not sinking into the path of the mother was deeply taking its toll on me and my being. I literally didn't know how to show up for my business. And the initiation was for me to truly embody the mother and learn to love mothering, because for me, it's really easy to love my work. Working is easy. Now, back then, I had to learn how to really embody being a mother and such a sacred role and gift in my life. So I wanted to make sure I took that path like deeply seriously because it was going to be a hat and a role that I was going to wear now for the rest of my life. So choosing to take that time off and Logan, moving through some of his own things we've both been through some huge soul initiations the last couple of years. Logan had been wanting to step into a different realm of his life and had been dabbling in men's mentoring. He runs his like Wednesday morning groups, and he had his own building business, and basically with me choosing to step off work and then him having had some jobs and some clients that didn't turn out well, and us ended up being owed about 100K from clients, and we are in the retrieval process of that, but you can't guarantee that with the building industry. Fucking building industry, don't even be started on that. Anyway, we are not in a state of victim. We take full responsibility for our lives and full responsibility for what happened. But that initiation of having to decide in July of last year, July of 2023, that we were going to sell the house. And we went on a 6-month then journey to finish renovating the house so that we could make as much profit and as much money as we could off the sale. And that also meant, me looking after the kids 7 days a week, and me, really getting initiated into the role of mother. Like Bruno, I had him in March. So he was, like 3 months old when that started, and I was full-time mothering, full-time being with my children. And I love my children, do not get me wrong, but without any help or any break, man, it was a really, really, really tough time. And I lost my grandma May of last year. And it was funny because, while I was in the initiation phase of the mother, I really felt like, my own mother passed away. And when my grandmother died, like I got this real initiation, like I am now the matriarch of the family. And it's something that, a role I never thought that I would play, and something that I was born to play. I am such a stan now for creating the culture of my family, for creating the culture of how I'm here to serve and to live and to lead. And as in my human design, if you do not know your life theme in human design, message me and we can tell you, because, basically in my life theme, it says that I'm here to create new laws of living and to stick by them. And it never, ever goes by me. And when I think about these visions from God and from spirit that I'm receiving, I'm like, you're here to create a new way. And I guess this is part of this podcast, is to create a new way. Part of this podcast is that I thoroughly thrive by sharing my voice. And one of the things that I've been playing in is like, I fucking hate reels right now. And it's funny because as soon as I say I fucking hate them, I ended up loving them. So it's I hate them so much that I end up loving them. But I really wanted a place where I can not only interview amazing guest speakers who, for me, I'm just going to be interviewing people, sharing about my offers, sharing about the work that I'm doing, interviewing people that I love, that I'm finding passionate about. I mean, that is the best thing for me to do, is to just, it's in my Gene Keys. I will always be referencing Gene Keys, if you know this about me, if you come to this podcast, but I'll always be referencing Gene Keys. And in my vocation key, it says all about marketing. I'm here to market what I love. So I will be marketing what I love all the time, sharing about, being curious about what I love, and trust that that is my genius, and that is what I'm here to do. Talking about our genius. I'm sure in this podcast we'll be talking about people's genius and me shining a light on people's genius and innovative businesses, and how just the juiciness of where I see the world and humanity going, and how being of service in this way. Anyway, back to my story. So yeah, after we finally sold the house in end of last year, we officially did handover on the 16th of January 2024. So that's, how many months are we now? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Nearly 8 months ago. Wow, 2 months ago. And we said that this is the year that we're going to create these new codes of living based off our family values, and that we were not going to go back to what we had once done, and that us as a family and that us as a unit was going to path a new way, path a new way, our way, and trust that our way was the way that people are looking for. And our way is the way that, you know, what I've been feeling is true. It's true to us, and it's then true to other people we're here to help. So yeah, we have been for the last 7 months in the beautiful trenches of parenting 2 young children who don't go to daycare. We take them to a little bush school. We currently share our parenting / work roles, as you can say. We don't have family that live close by. My sister lives in Brisbane and we see her, but she's not someone that helps. We do have an amazing sort of demi peer that lives with us. One thing that we were like, okay, we really need help, and how can we create that help? And she lives with us and she does our washing and helps out with the kids sometimes. Oh my God, to have somebody fucking do your washing. I don't think I could live without a demi peer now. I'm seriously like, I'm invested in this. I am invested in this demi peer role. It is great. Just washing, man. When you got like 4 people's washing, when it was my own, man, that was fucking easy. 4 people's washing, that shit is wild. Let me know if you are struggling with washing and send me a DM, because man. And just being on the path of like unrelentless, delusional self-belief, you know, and that self-belief is cultivated. Thankfully, you know, my current mentor said this to me, you know, she's been so great. And if you seriously, everyone needs to get a mentor. I mean, if it's not me, someone else, but definitely should be me. You know, she said that because when I started again, like I really had to work on my confidence. Like I have been in the online space now for 6 years. I owned a hairdressing salon before that for 7 years. So business isn't new to me. It's not new to me, but this version of me was new to business. And this version of me whose hormones had changed, who had suffered huge self-confidence shit after last year, nearly losing our money, you know, losing our house, like all of the identity, all of the beliefs, all of the shame that over the last 7 months I have been step by step cultivating, standing in the fire of working on all of my inner shit and inner shame to present to you this woman and every single woman and every single person, they're still walking with those parts of them. I just have learned to be with them and love them, and then just kind of walk with them. You know, it's not about removing our shadows, and never about removing our shit, that it's inviting them to take a seat with us. And ultimately, you know, the work I teach is like transmuting our shadows and our shame into our gifts and our genius. You know, that is truly the absolute pillar of building a business, by being all of yourself. You know, it's like to not put any of those parts of us down, and actually to fucking invite them to take a seat at the table. Take a seat at the table, because yeah, there is no other way to do sustainable business but by letting all of us take a seat at the fucking table. And it has been a beautiful, humble, and we're still in it. We're still in the building phase. And, you know, there's always some new level, some new devil, whether it comes to our parenting. You know, I just said Logan and I fucking triggered this shit on each other like 5 minutes ago. And I'm like, cool, okay, did we feel some completion? All right, felt our emotions. All right, cool, you got the kids, cool, boom. I'm up here, I'm doing this, boom, gay. Now I do my podcast. And I think, you know, a big part of this podcast, and even when I do have guest speakers, is like I want to contribute. I want to make most of that as real as I can, to really show you what's possible and what's not possible, and that I don't have it all figured out. But what I do have is absolute delusional self-belief that it is possible. Delusional, deluded, delulu self-belief that it is possible. The thing that you know is on your heart, the thing that you're creating, the thing that you want to create beside your children, with your children, without your children, all of those pieces. So it's been amazing, you know, this podcast, and I've got a mastermind currently running. I've got a program out. I've run, I think, like 4 or 5 masterclasses. I've been showing up. I've been taking a motherfucking stand for what I am here to do in terms of service and in terms of my family, because they're both equally combined. And there's just no way that I can go back to, I mean, I haven't been an employee since I was fucking 22. So this, business is in my blood. It is like seeping through my blood. I am a business coach, and now I'm a business coach that supports humans, mostly women, to walk through their heart and to unlock their genius and to build business their way through self-expression, through just the juicy and like the edge clipper pusher. Yeah, I don't know what to say next. I was like, should I write notes? One of the things that I'm really working on is like, should I write notes to go on my podcast? Yeah, maybe that's a new evolution for me, because I literally am never prepared. Maybe not when I haven't done many solo episodes. For my guest speakers one, I literally just trust in the flow. But maybe I should do notes. What do you think? Should I do notes? Anyway, I think that is it for me. But I just wanted to say thank you. Welcome for being here. If you are a mother that has a movement, if you are a mother that is like, I am ready to elevate to the next level of my business, the next level of my motherhood, the next level of my passion, the next level of all of that juicy stuff, then I'm so freaking excited, because I'm launching my mastermind, Mamas Make Movements, the new MMM, which is going to be a 9-month mastermind of women who are self-led, self-loving, ready to take the deepest dive ever through the Venus sequence and the Gene Keys into the Pearl sequence. So it's fully about leading in your heart-centered leadership, looking at all the shadows that play out in our relationships to then move into our ultimate prosperity, which is truly the thing that is going to ignite, spark your movement. And we have to move through our hearts first to be able to get to the movement. It is going to be a 9-month container where I'm here for the women, the mothers who are here to start a movement. It is a business, of course, but so much more than just that. So much more. Actually, let's have you get on stages, on podcasts. Let's have your message get shared out there. Let's amplify more of who you are, your leadership in this world. I never thought I'd be someone talking about leadership, but ultimately that is what I desire to do. It's because my work is here to innovate and to change the game and where we're taking business. No longer can we run business from greed anymore. And who better than to change the world with business than mothers? Ultimately, who better than to change the world, because we are so real and in the raw and the capacity to hold so much. Like, I was like, why, of course, would I not want to work with mothers? So if you're feeling the pull, of course, you're going to be hearing about it over these next like 6 weeks kind of thing. Yeah, I would love to hear from you, see if you want to apply and see if you want to join, if you're really like, even if you're currently an online coach and you're already doing amazing things, you're like, I'm ready for that next elevation in my business, that next part of my business where I truly come alive. We can be making money online, sure, but are we actually feeling the aliveness, the possibility, the like, I am actually part of creating something and I'm part of something? Then I would love to hear from you. This is Kezia motherfucking Lee tuning out for my first Kezia Lee show. Thank you for joining us. If you have thus loved this, please subscribe, whether it be on YouTube or Spotify or Apple. I would love to hear from you. And we're just getting started, baby. Mwah!